Thank you all for joining. We have started 5 minutes prior to our scheduled time so that more people can join in. So, Doctor, I'll be sending a request for speaker. Kindly accept. So, for today we have our guest, Dr. Srishti Jain.
Hi.
So let me give a brief introduction on my part, and then we'll go. We will ask her about her background and everything, and after that we will also take several questions from the audiences. We will try to make it as interactive and as fruitful for everyone. Thank you, those who have joined, and let me start.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Srishti Jain is she holds a MBBS degree, MD, FNB Critical Care, and has more than 10 plus years of experience. She in the past had various profiles. She did FFI CM from UK, FNB Critical Care, European Diploma in Intensive Care, again European Diploma in Respiratory Medicine. She is MD in Pulmonary Medicine, and she is DNB in Respiratory Diseases. And she is like Associate Professor and Additional Director, Department of Critical Care, and presently working as a director in ECMO services at Mahatma Gandhi Medical College and Hospital, Jaipur. So, as far as I know, she started her investing journey in 2017. So, I would request Doctor to tell us about herself and when she decided to be a doctor, and anything you like to say. Over to you,
Right.
Doctor.
Thank you so much from the team of Accidental Investors to invite me to share my journey. I think so. Most of the things that I would like to share is about the mistakes which I made during my investing journey. So in 2017, what happened was that we had to shift our house. So we were initially staying in a government quarters provided by the hospital, and then later we shifted to this private villa, and we had neighbors there. His name is, I have to mention, Ratan Sharma ji. I've taken his prior permission. He was working as the managing director in the ICICI bank, and he asked me once, Srishti, do you invest in stocks? I was like, sir, क्या बात कर रहे हैं, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं, कुछ आइडिया ही नहीं है, कभी मेडिकल फील्ड से कभी टाइम ही नहीं मिलता है कि स्टॉक्स वगैरह के बारे में कुछ सोच भी पाए, इमेजिन भी कर पाए. तो उन्होंने बोला, देखो मैं आईसीआईसीआई बैंक में काम करता हूँ, तो मैं तुम्हारा डीमैट अकाउंट खोल देता हूँ और मैं थोड़े बहुत तुमको शेयर्स बताऊंगा, यू कैन परचेज दैट. I was like, all right, sir, please help me. And I don't know anything about it. I will need your constant support and guidance. And that's what happened. So, उन्होंने मेरा 2017 में प्रिंस, he opened my डीमैट अकाउंट. और उन्होंने कहा, एक काम करो, आप के पास कितने पैसे हैं? मैंने कहा, सर पैसे होंगे, देखना पड़ेगा, जितने भी है लगा देंगे. उन्होंने कहा, आप एक काम करो, 100 इन्फोसिस, 100 रिलायंस और आप 100 बजाज फाइनेंस ले लो. मैंने कहा, कब लूं? तो कहते हैं, आप ले लेना, कभी भी ले लेना, आपका जब मन करे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ये ब्लू चिप्स हैं. और बस एक चीज का ध्यान रखना कि रोज रोज खोल के देखना नहीं कि ऊपर जा रहा है कि नीचे जा रहा है, और इनको बेचना मत. मैंने कहा, ठीक है सर, जैसा आप बोलो. तो वो तो सर ने खरीदवा दिए, वो रिलायंस, बजाज फाइनेंस और अपना व्हाट द थर्ड थिंग आई सेड वाज रिलायंस, बजाज फाइनेंस एंड इन्फोसिस. फिर मैं सीएनबीसी, आवाज, ये सब देखना चालू किया. तो मैं अपनी गलतियां भी थोड़ी इसके साथ ही बता रही हूँ आपको प्रिंस, तो ना देखना
Right,
चालू
right, right.
किया. हाँ, तो मैं आपसे अपनी जर्नी शेयर कर रही हूँ. तो सीएनबीसी आवाज देखा. अच्छा, सीएनबीसी आवाज में बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है, वही खरीदवा देती है जो आपको लॉन्ग टर्म में कभी फायदा देने नहीं वाला है, या वो चीजें जो आप ज्यादा समझोगे नहीं, या सिक्लिकल्स हैं. तो दिन भर टाटा स्टील चलता रहता था, तो मैंने टाटा स्टील ले लिया. इन्फोसिस तो कोई बात ही नहीं होती थी ज्यादातर वहां पर. कोल इंडिया ले लिया, डीएचएफएल ले लिया, यस बैंक ले लिया, और हुडको लिया. और ये सारे मेरे प्रिंस, जब मैंने 2021 में यूके से वापस आकर चेक किए, तो ये सारे नेगेटिव्स थे. मेरी पूरी इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी में मैंने हजारों मिस्टेक्स की, बट एक चीज ने मुझे बचा लिया, एंड वो था कि मैंने, सर ने जो ब्लू चिप्स बोले थे ना, वो मैंने कभी बेचे नहीं, और मैंने उनको कभी टच भी नहीं किया कि वो ऊपर जा रहे हैं कि नीचे जा रहे हैं.
राइट राइट, इंटरेस्टिंग स्टार्ट योर जर्नी. सो लाइक, तो उन्होंने जैसे बताया कि ब्लू चिप्स वगैरह, तो ही डिडंट गाइड ऑन कि व्हाट प्राइसेस टू बाय, एंड आई मीन straight away?
नहीं नहीं, उन्होंने मुझे कुछ नहीं बताया। वो जून 2017 की बात थी, तो उन्होंने कहा आप ले लो। मैंने कहा ठीक है ले लेते हैं। मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता था
Right.
कि फंडामेंटल वर्ड भी नहीं पता था, टेक्निकल वर्ड भी नहीं पता था, कुछ भी आइडिया नहीं था मुझे। पर मैंने ले लिया और कभी खोल के देखा भी नहीं। तो जब 1-2 साल में तो वो चीज़ें ठीक ही दिखती थी। बस मैंने बेचे नहीं, उनकी ये बात मानी।
Right, right. So what about those? I mean, you mentioned so many names. Of course, any names mentioned in today's spaces won't be like a buy sell recommendation. It's only because she's telling her experience. तो जो losses
Yeah,
हुए
I'm
तो
just sharing my experience.
yeah. So how you evolved from your mistakes? I mean, जो आपने गलत buys हुए या maybe valuation front पे overvalued places या
राइट।
fundamentally strong, तो उनको कैसे मतलब over a time आप कैसे evolve हुए?
तो 2017 जून में जब ये इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी चालू हुई, उसी समय घर में कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स आई। मेरे एल्डर ब्रदर हैं, 6 मंथ्स बड़े भाई, उनको कैंसर डायग्नोज हुआ प्रिंस, और उनका ऑपरेशन हुआ इमरजेंसी में। और ऑपरेशन के 3 ही दिनों में उनका जो ऑपरेशन सक्सेसफुल नहीं रहा, लीक हो गया वहाँ पर। जो कैंसर के साइट पे स्टिचेस लिए थे उनके एब्डोमेन में, जो एनास्टोमोसिस था उनके स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन का, लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन का सॉरी। और उसके बाद उनकी कंडीशन बिगड़ती गई और विदिन 7 डेज ना ही डाइड, लीविंग बिहाइंड अ यंग वाइफ एंड अ 5 मंथ ओल्ड बेबी। और वो बच्चा भी आईवीएफ से पैदा हुआ था। तो इट ही वाज अ प्रेशियस चाइल्ड। घर में अचानक ही सबको पता चलता है कि भैया का इतना लाखों का खर्चा हो गया, आईसीयू में, ऑपरेशन में, सब में, और घर वालों के पास पैसे नहीं थे। और मैंने बड़े फ्लिमजी वे में पूछा, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस होगा ना भैया का, आप लोग चेक करो। किसी को कुछ नॉलेज नहीं थी। भैया का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस था ही नहीं, भैया का टर्म प्लान नहीं था, भैया का कोई भी ऐसा सिक्योरिटी इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं था जिससे भाभी हॉस्पिटल का खर्चा चुका सके और आगे की जिंदगी को कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर सके। एंड वर्स्ट सिचुएशन वाज कि पता चला कि भैया भी डॉक्टर थे, और भैया ने अपने लैब और क्लिनिक के इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए काफी सारा लोन ले रखा था। वो लोन भी भाभी को अब अकेले चुकाना था। तब दिमाग में एकदम से ठनका कि भैया एमबीबीएस किया, एमडी किया, इतनी मेहनत की भैया ने, और आज उनकी अनएक्सपेक्टेड अनटाइमली डेथ हो जाने के कारण फैमिली बिल्कुल भी प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं थी फाइनेंशियली, और अचानक ही इतनी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स एक हंसती खेलती फैमिली पर आ गई। एंड भाभी वाज नॉट वर्किंग लेडी, एंड इट वाज जस्ट इम्पॉसिबल फॉर अस टू टैकल। तब मेरे दिमाग में ये बात आई कि नहीं, समथिंग इज रॉन्ग, मुझे कुछ सीखना चाहिए, मुझे कुछ करना चाहिए। बट तब भी पढ़ाई का बर्डन इतना था मेरे ऊपर, मैंने कुछ सीखा नहीं, करा नहीं। पर ना दिल में वो चीज़ हमेशा थी कि नहीं, सीखना है मुझे, फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट सीखना है। तो मैंने ये चीज़ तो की। मुझे आज भी याद है, भैया की डेथ 17 अक्टूबर 2017 को हुई थी, और 16 अक्टूबर को, एक दिन पहले भैया की डेथ के ना, भैया की तबीयत खराब सुनने की न्यूज़ सुन के मम्मी को भी उनकी हार्ट अटैक आ गया था। और मैं आईसीयू के बाहर बैठी हुई हूँ, रो रही हूँ, समझ में नहीं आ रहा मैं क्या करूँ। पर ये चीज़ मुझे समझ में आ गई कि आज मेरे भाई के पास टर्म प्लान होता तो फैमिली कम से कम फाइनेंशियली रैग्स फील नहीं करती। मैंने वहाँ आईसीयू आईसीयू के बाहर बैठे बैठे ना आईसीआईसीआई बैंक सर को फोन किया, रतन जी को, वही जो मेरे गाइड थे, और मैंने अपना टर्म प्लान करवाया 1 CR का तभी। तो वहां से ना मेरी ये वाली जर्नी तो चालू हुई 2017 से, कि कुछ बेसिक चीजें ना आदमी को करके ही चलनी है। और वो है एक अच्छा हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, एक अच्छा फ्लोटर प्लान, 20 लाख कम से कम, क्योंकि बताकर नहीं आती है प्रॉब्लम। और एक टर्म प्लान होना चाहिए, और म्यूचुअल फंड्स में एटलीस्ट आपकी एसआईपीज इंडेक्स फंड में चालू हो जानी चाहिए। मेरी एसआईपीज मैंने चालू की। आई थिंक जो सबसे बड़ा डिसीजन था ना, मेरी इतनी हजार गलतियां और हजार गड़बड़ गड़बड़ शेयर्स, गड़बड़ गड़बड़ टाइमिंग पे लेने के कारण भी, वो ये था कि मैंने कुछ अच्छे म्यूचुअल फंड्स में अपनी एसआईपीज चालू कर दी, और अराउंड 40-50 थाउजेंड पर मंथ की अलग अलग म्यूचुअल फंड में एसआईपीज कटती रही, जिनको मैंने कभी नहीं छेड़ा, ध्यान भी नहीं दिया। फिर जो मेरा तब जो भूत चढ़ा था ना सीखने का स्टॉक्स का, वो 2-4 दिन में, महीने में उतर गया, क्योंकि टाइम ही नहीं मिल पाया मुझे। देन मेरी एक्मो की फेलोशिप के लिए मेरा यूके में मुझे एप्लीकेशन एक्सेप्ट हो गया। मैं 2 साल के लिए इंग्लैंड चली गई। और मैं जब इंग्लैंड गई, जनवरी 2019 में आई वेंट टू इंग्लैंड, और मेरा 1 साल 1.5 साल का फेलोशिप खत्म ही होने वाला था अप्रैल में, कि आ गया कोविड का पैंडेमिक, और मेरा वहां से निकल पाना भी पॉसिबल नहीं था। और घर से फोन आते थे कि अरे मेरे हस्बैंड के कि तूने स्टॉक मार्केट में इतना पैसा लगा रखा है और क्रैश हो रहा है, क्रैश हो रहा है, तू देखती भी नहीं है, तू खोलती भी नहीं है। मैंने कहा राजीव मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, यूके के टाइमिंग्स 5 घंटे लेट चलते हैं, मैं कैसे खोलूं, कब देखूं, मैं क्या करूं। सो तुम रहने दो, तुम बस पड़े रहने दो, तुम कुछ मत छेड़ो उसको, जस्ट लीव इट, नीचे गया है ऊपर भी आ जाएगा। एंड ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग, मैं जब हस्बैंड को ये समझा रही थी, मुझे कुछ भी आइडिया नहीं था कि इंडिया में हो क्या रहा है स्टॉक मार्केट का, क्योंकि ओटीपी नाम की चीज आती नहीं थी। जब वहां पे यूके का सिम था, मेरे पास कुछ भी सेल करने के लिए पॉसिबल नहीं था। तो इस तरह से 2017 की जो जर्नी चालू हुई, वो चलती रही चलती रही चलती रही। जब यूके से वापस आकर अभी, जब व्हेन आई केम बैक 2021 दिसंबर में, तब जब मैंने अपना पोर्टफोलियो खोल के देखा, आई वाज शॉक्ड। आई वाज लाइक व्हाट इज दिस। मैं सिर्फ 50,000 रुपए महीने के इन्वेस्ट कर रही थी, मैंने कभी देखा भी नहीं, मेरे साढ़े साढ़े स्टॉक्स पड़े हुए थे एक्सेप्ट बजाज फाइनेंस, इन्फोसिस एंड आरती इंडस्ट्रीज। तो देखा 35 रुपए का आरती इंडस्ट्रीज आज 900 रुपए का हुआ पड़ा है। इन्फोसिस डबल ट्रिपल हो गया है, हर चीज में 150-160% इन्वेस्टमेंट में गेन था। एंड ओवरऑल पोर्टफोलियो पे there was a 190% gain in my stocks portfolio despite of Hutco, DHFL and Yes Bank. And the gain on the mutual fund portfolio was around 200%. And I had been a constant investor, investing around 50-60,000 per month starting from 2017. So you can guess that how much the corpus got collected without me doing anything. मुझे एक ही चीज समझ में आई कि हजारों गलतियां की, बट सिंस मैंने छेड़ा नहीं, होने दिया, चलने दिया, तो शायद इतना सारा मेरा गेन हुआ। ऑफ कोर्स आई वाज लकी कि ये कोविड का क्रैश आया, कोविड के क्रैश का मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं पाई, बेच ही नहीं पाई, मैंने खोल के देखा ही नहीं। बट दिस वाज द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल थिंग, आई वुड से।
Indeed, great, and I really feel sorry for your family. You lost your brother, and your aunt went through so many pain. I mean, I can understand. And guys, everyone, this is a clear-cut example that how important health insurance, term plans, and financial planning is important in everybody's life. You never know what is going to happen next, right? So, in this uncertain world, everyone needs to be prepared. Don't wait for an apt time. And as she rightly said, one should start with a bare minimum SIP. I mean, whatever you understand, any asset class or whatever, so that way you should start your investing. And very interestingly, as she said, she was not into checking her portfolio very regularly. And of course, last 2 year had been euphoric, and the bull phase has really given good returns to everyone. So again, it's indeed a lesson that if we buy good stocks and keep them for a long period of time, and of course we need to monitor if anything is not going wrong, but the the results are superb, right? So with this, I move on to next questions. So basically, would you also like to tell us about, I mean, your doctor, how you developed interest to be a doctor and how you find this field and
Right. So, I was born and brought up in a medical family, Prince. I had 8 doctors in my family. My father is an ENT surgeon. So, बचपन से ही एक ही प्रोफेशन पता था कि बनिए का बेटा बनिया। एक ही प्रोफेशन पता था कि ठीक है, सब डॉक्टर ही बनते हैं। सो मैं डॉक्टर बन गई। अच्छा, बचपन में ना और भी फनी चीजें हुई। मैं बचपन से ही, मुझे घर में ना सब सन की सुल्तान बोलते थे कि इसको जो धुन सवार हो गई वो करके रहेगी। सो मेडिसिन का तो चल ही रहा था, तब पापा ने फोटोग्राफी का भी, पापा को शौक था तो मुझे भी फोटोग्राफी का शौक चढ़ा। और बिफोर बिकमिंग अ डॉक्टर आई बिकेम अ फोटोग्राफर। आई हैड वन 9 national gold medals in photography, and I had like 3 national exhibitions which were inaugurated by the then prime minister Mr. VP Singh and Mr. Chandrasekhar and the president Shankar Dayal Sharma. So I was a lot into photography. बट 11th में आकर पेरेंट्स ने बोला कि देखो तुम लड़की हो, फोटोग्राफी के लिए कहाँ घूमोगी, तुम अपने मेडिसिन फील्ड में ही वापस अपना पैशन लाओ। तब मैं थोड़ी ओबीडियंट बच्ची भी थी, तो मैंने पेरेंट्स की बात सुनी और मेडिसिन की पढ़ाई चालू की। गॉड इज ग्रेट, वहां पर भी आई रियली हैड अ वेरी गुड ब्लेसिंग्स फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्स एंड द गॉड। आई स्टूड first in all India PMT in the state of in Bhopal rank, and seventh in state PMT, and got one of the prestigious medical colleges to do MBBS from. That was St. GS Medical College in Mumbai. And then I did my post graduation in respiratory medicine in Ahmedabad, and also got married during that time. And then we moved to Jaipur. I kept continuing my passion into critical care medicine, and had gone to UK for a fellowship in ECMO. So right now I am the associate professor in Department of Critical Care. I love teaching. I love talking, and I think the second best thing that I do in my life is teaching my students and talking to them, talking to the nurses. That's the way we spend our beautiful day: teaching, learning, and of course seeing our patients. And I think in my field in critical care medicine, I really feel glad that I have stood up the test of time and done a decently okay job.
That's cool. And we would also like to know the secret how, I mean, being so involved in your job, and I mean, you developed interest in investing as well. So how you keep so jolly all the time, even we.
I think that's my nature. That's how I am. That is me. बट भाई की डेथ के बाद कुछ डर निकल गए. सबसे पहला जो डर निकला ना, वो तो एक डेथ का डर निकल गया कि ठीक है, मरना तो है ही. वो एक डर निकल गया लाइफ से. फिर लाइफ ना बहुत खुल के जीना चालू कर दी. मेरे फैमिली में मेरे पेरेंट्स ओशो के सन्यासिन थे. मुझे व्हेन आई वाज 12 इयर्स ऑफ एज, तब मुझे पूना ओशो आश्रम वो लोग ले गए थे, और तो बड़ा अच्छा लगता था वहां पर. आई टुक संन्यास एट द एज ऑफ 12. इट वाज नॉट प्रॉपर संन्यास, बट इट वाज लाइक अ कमिटमेंट टू मेडिटेशन. So I had been like on a spiritual journey since then. और जैसे जैसे बड़े होते जाते हैं, लाइफ के चैलेंजेस आते जाते हैं, तब लगता है यार डिग्री मिल गई, जॉब मिल गई, शादी हो गई, बच्चा हो गया, फिर भी कहीं खुशी लैकिंग है. सो वो खुशी तो ना अपने अंदर ही है, वो कहीं बाहर ढूंढने से तो नहीं मिलने वाली. सो आई हैड बीन फॉलोइंग ओशो सिंस यंग टाइम्स. और वो भी एक एक्सीडेंटल एंट्री ही थी लाइफ में. And I still try that. I am in touch into some kind of spiritual activities. I had also done a landmark forum. Again, that is all about challenging minds and adapting to the environment. So I'm a lot into um, I would say not just portfolio building, but personality building things where you learn how to adapt to the adverse situation. And of course, Bhai ki death was a very challenging time. We all went into depression and had to do something to come out of that.
Really, really inspiring on your part. Seriously, I mean, we can, ought to learn so much of. I mean, everyone should have to face the life. I mean, it is not easy. We have to face every, and we have to keep happy and spread happiness to others. So, I mean, you named few stocks like which went bad for you, right? Yes Bank, DHFL, and all. So, how you? I
Mhm.
mean, you are almost into 5 years of investing journey. How you have evolved? I mean, the have you overcome those mistakes? I mean,
So
how you have.
portfolio allocation जो again accidentally हुआ. जब उस जमाने में आप 100 बजाज फाइनेंस 2000 की रेट पे लोगे, और 100 रिलायंस आप हार्डली 700-800 की रेट पे लेते हो, और जब वो स्प्लिट होते जाते हैं, आपको कुछ भी पता नहीं होता है वो क्या हो रहा है वहां पर. एंड फिर आप ब्लू चिप्स जो आप लेते हो, उनका एलोकेशन अच्छा था. आई थिंक दैट वाज द रीजन. एंड सेकेंड थिंग वाज SIPs. आई थिंक दैट वाज अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग रीजन कि चीजें स्मूथली चलती रही.
Right, right.
It was
So
the mutual funds which gave me more return rather than the stocks in my case.
yeah, right. Because the people, most of the time, we see that they do not take mutual fund returns seriously because they want
Hmm.
instant gratification, right? So that is one thing which we should understand. We should give time to compound, right? So, what's
Yeah.
your view on value investing? I mean,
So I actually started reading and doing courses on stock market investing from July July onwards. That was July 2021 onwards. I first learned fundamental analysis, so I could select a good bunch of stocks. But I didn't know technical analysis. So the entry time was very bad. Imagine during the peak, when the RSI was in the oversold territory of Nifty in the month of like say July, August, September, I was buying more of scripts and building my portfolio, which was I think a wrong decision. I shouldn't have done that. Then the biggest mistake of that time was buying Balaji Amines at the rate of 4,000 rupees, or I would say 4,500 rupees, and then averaging downwards. I didn't know technicals, so I thought, okay, abhi ye bahut ho gaya, technicals bhi seekhna padega. Then I learned technical analysis and I started practicing charts every day. I think another habit of mine, which has been there since a long time, is waking up at 5 a.m. I am a very obsessed 5 a.m. club member. I wake up at 5 o'clock every day and I devote some time to meditation and journaling and writing and reading. So I think that habit helps me to read, to study good books. And as far as value investing is concerned, honestly speaking, I'm still learning. I don't know a lot about it. And this crash is teaching me a lot, that I should sit with cash. I should have 15% of amount of portfolio cash with me. I should. I'm learning on my journey, Prince. That's what I would say.
Right, right. So honest reply from your end. So we often see coffee can investor, coffee can investing on your handle. So I mean, we
True.
can link it with the way like you purchased and you forgot it about it.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
Yeah, yeah, it worked for me, it worked for me. And then I happened to read, okay, there's a book called Coffee Can Portfolio, as a great way to build wealth by Saurabh Mukherjee and the Marcellus people, and I read all their books. Then I read Diamonds in the Dust, I read The Unusual Billionaires, and then I kept on reading. I'm used to reading a lot of books. And then I did courses by Rachna Ranade, did course by Ish Mohit on value investing, and I just kept on listening, like whatever time I would get while driving or in the morning. It was like, became a junkie to learn, to acquire knowledge more than anything. And of course, with every new knowledge gained, you realize, okay, ये नहीं करना है. देखो क्या करना है, honestly speaking, मुझे भी अभी अच्छे से नहीं पता है. बट क्या नहीं करना है ना, वो 4-5 चीजें समझ में आ गई हैं.
So true, so true. I mean, I have heard from so many, I mean, eminent people who are into investing for 1 or 2 decades or maybe more. They often say you have to stress more on don'ts of the market. When you cut down on the don'ts of market, obviously you will be left with what you have to do. So, of course, we have to spend time and keep on learning. It's a never-ending journey. So again, so we can do one thing. We can open up the floor for questions from the audiences. Anyone who wants to interact or ask questions from Shrishti, he or she can send a request. Sorry, some people were sending it previously. I couldn't take it because that time we were asking her directly. So all the audiences are requested to send their requests, and we can take up the questions one by one.
Hello.
Yeah, we have. I mean, 1 second. I have accepted the request. Okay. Researching Indian stocks. You can unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Hello, I have no questions. Only thanks for sharing the story, Srishti. I really like the story. Thanks for sharing for us.
You, that's so few to say that.
And this is plus one for me as well. We are literally enjoying the honesty and your journey so far. So we request more speakers to send in their request. Otherwise, I have to ask all the questions. So any other book from apart from Saurabh Mukherjee, which you feel like has
Okay.
helped you?
Yeah. So I heard The Dhando Investor, which is again a wonderful book to understand value investing. So they very nicely describe, na Monish Pabrai. He describes very nicely the Papa Patel, and how the Gujaratis ended up in America, and how they ended up setting up the motel business as the most cost effective way of working in a motel. So I think that book is an amazing fun book to read. Then I usually hear most of the books because I don't get to sit and read all the time. But then I use my driving time, so I have my Audible subscription. So recently I heard the book The Millionaire Mindset. Then I heard another book by Pat Dorsey, that is Five Rules of Successful Investing. Then I heard few other books. They're not coming up to my mind, but one book which changed my life and which actually helped me to go along my interests and my journey is Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Dr. Deepak Chopra. I think it's a must here, because I think investing is more of a mindset. You have to trust your journey. You have to trust what is right and has been given in the books, and not to read the daily prices and not to see the daily CNBC hours. I think I'm not criticizing anyone, but you know what happens is the more you hear the names of those stocks, you end up buying them without understanding the fundamentals and how the company is working, and whether it is a company in which you can, be invested for at least 10 years, as the great Mr. Warren Buffett says. So I think that is one book which I would say that is must to read. And to work on your mindset, I listen to Robin Sharma a lot. I listen to Mel Robbins a lot. So Mel Robbins, she talks about the 5 second rule. So that is there. So I would suggest that thing.
Yeah, we will have a second round of interaction on all the books you have written, read so far. So we have two speakers with us. GTMRX, you are next. Kindly unmute and ask your question.
Thank you for giving the opportunity. Uh, Dr. Srishti, I have one concept, and
Yeah.
if you just tell me if you can relate to it.
Yeah,
So
sure.
when you start investing, what I tell people is stick with blue chips and think that you're buying partnerships for your kids for the future. So if you think after 20 years or 15 years, my kid would work in Infosys, you should get him and partnership in that organization. Or if you think tomorrow Tata Motors would do uh, very well in electronic vehicles, you can make your kids partners in that organization. Do you relate to that if one generation dedicates themselves to understanding value investing and long term investing, they can probably create wealth for the next generation? They
100.
may not be able to reap all the benefits, but in a longer run they would probably create wealth for their kids.
100%. I 100% agree with you, because that's what has been working for me so far. And that's what I keep telling my 8-year-old boy कि बच्चे अपन ये स्टॉक क्यों ले रहे हैं. एक प्रांजल कामरा का ना, there's a wonderful video by Pranjal Kamra on YouTube, and that is about understanding investing. So he shares the story that a research was done in which some students were asked to create a portfolio, and some great intelligent value investors were asked to create a portfolio. And in the long run, after 10 years, surprisingly, the portfolio which was created by those school children did really very well as compared to the one which was really analyzed technically and fundamentally. Why? Because kids went for those scripts which they understood. They went for Barbie, they went for Apple, they went for Microsoft, because these things they understood, they knew, they could relate to. So 100% that's what we should do with ourselves, and keep inculcating that habit amongst our children, that you're a part of now Barbie. That is your company now. You're a part of it. So stick to it if you trust. So 100% I would agree with you.
Yeah, rightly said. Sent GT. Thank you, GT. So we have Dr. Hari Kishan with us. Kindly unmute and ask your question. And in the meantime, I will request all the members who have joined in today's spaces to kindly look out at handle of Dr. Shrishti and mine. And if you find value, if you are enjoying this space, kindly connect with our Twitter family. And obviously, in future also, we would like to hold such interactive sessions more. So Hari Kishan, kindly, ask your question, please.
Hi, this is Harry Kiran actually. Yeah, and actually, I have no question per se. It's just to thank you for hosting this space and trying to spread the knowledge. Yeah, and the other thing is, I just want to suggest some more one or two books that I actually love
Yeah,
on the invest. Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm suggesting one or two books which I actually personally love in the investing space. The one is written by Guy Spire, The Education of a Value Investor. I
Sure.
think, Guy Spire is actually he's a good friend of Monish Pobrai, and they
Okay.
both collectively went for that Warren Buffett lunch program. Usme. And
Mhm.
this book is actually very valuable. I mean, like, not just in the investing point of view, but in the life point of view also, it gives a very good insight.
True.
And the other book I just wanted to say is this thing. There is a book called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas.
Okay.
So that actually deals with the whole behavioral aspect of the trading point of view and even the investing point of view. And
Sure.
even I feel like that is actually a good book. And
Yeah.
Thank,
one more I
thanks,
would,
Harikiran.
yeah, and not
Thank,
to, because all the big personalities they usually say about, like, there is a book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I think somebody must have heard about that. Everyone actually they say like it is very good. It is better to read that book. But I personally tried to read it twice, but I never found any kind of this thing. So I think it's better not to waste time on that also.
thank you, doctor. So next we have Neelam with us. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello.
I think it is showing connecting
Okay.
some issue. So we have again researching Indian stocks with us. Any question or anything to add? I think there is some issue with.
Uh,
I mean,
Probably.
so Doctor, COVID time had been very tough for the masses as well as for the doctor community. So how did your last 2 years went on that front, and what lesson should we take from such kind of pandemics?
I think it was the most beautiful time of my life if now I look back, because at that time I was in another country. I was working in NHS, and it was an amazing experience to see that how a developed country handles the pandemic. I made a lot of great friends who are still friends of mine from the country across, and I learned the most important thing was the art of living alone, because my kind of personality, I'm such an extrovert. To live alone, to be in a lockdown, it was extremely challenging, but luckily being at workplace was great. I think what I learned from the pandemic most was that difficult times ना आएंगे और आते रहेंगे. हमें उनसे पैनिक नहीं करना है, चाहे वो इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी में हो, चाहे वो लाइफ की प्रॉब्लम्स हो. अपने माइंड का जो रिमोट कंट्रोल है ना, वो सिर्फ अपने पास ही रखना है, किसी और को देना नहीं है, सिचुएशन को नहीं देना है. जिस दिन हमने ये सीख लिया ना कि हम तो इस संसार में ना सिर्फ वी आर जस्ट ट्रैवलर्स एंड वी हैव कम एंड वी हैव टू गो, वी विल डाई वन डे, देन व्हेन वी ड्रॉप द फियर ऑफ डेथ, that is the time when we actually start living. We actually start accepting and rejoicing every moment of life. So drop the fear of death. We all will die. We none of us will go alive out of this life. So and same is with investing. Have faith. Once you've bought good scripts, rose rates nahi dekhe. Agar aapke paas, if you have some money to invest, you can invest when the RSI of the Nifty is an oversold territory. No need to jump in between. Just continue with your SIPs, whatever mutual funds you have researched, and you think, I think it is the time which actually is the winner. If you think कि आज कुआं खोदा और कल पानी निकल गया, that doesn't happen. I think greed kills. Whenever I have ended up with greed, I have failed. So whenever I ended up buying stocks on the top, and when I start looking at the prices daily, when I was learning the charts and everything, I think I made more of a chaos in my life rather than something good. So I think I have to do what I was doing before. I think learning all this technical and fundamental analysis helped me to just talk the language. I understand now what 200 dema means and what the downtrend means and what the candles means. But actually, what actually makes you rich is time. You cannot negate the eighth wonder of the world, and that is compound interest.
So true. So in last 5 years, have you tried to time the market? I mean, and how you evolved on your behavioral aspect?
Oh God, I'll share with me pictures of 23rd March and 24th March when so-called the crash happened in India. I was working in ICU. I was like crazy busy, and then in my free time, I was just meditating and watching good movies and just cooking and relaxing because I was in a lockdown. I wouldn't wake up early if I am not on work. तब तक इंडियन स्टॉक मार्केट बंद हो जाता था इंडिया का, और जब मेरे को जल्दी उठना पड़ता था, दैट वाज ऑन द डेज आई हैड टू वर्क, तब मेरे पास टाइम ही नहीं होता था. तो ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग खोला ही नहीं, देखा ही नहीं.
That's cool. That has really worked for you. So we have Yogesh sir with us, and before that, I would tell Srishti we have an ecosystem, our Twitter family, small Twitter family, and these guys, Yogesh, Puneet, Pratik, and Dhaval from Investment Books, and Pramesh. There are 6, 7 guys who have been so consistent and really helpful. They join in the spaces, and whenever they got opportunity, they share their immense knowledge and appreciate. I mean, they have really helped my handle to get to good people, and I mean, I have improved on learning from them. Thank you guys for coming in. Yogesh sir, over to you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks to AI for convening this, and hats off to Dr. Srishti Jain, ma'am. Honestly, I have very high regards for people, no matter where they are, who they are, as long as they are mentally tough. Because at the end of the day, at least what I believe in life, mental toughness matters a lot, no matter what you have or what you achieve, because I think, according to me, that's the key. Okay, coming back to the topic, you touched upon eighth wonder of the world, compounding. I will layer onto it to say that, honestly speaking, yes, everybody speaks about compounding, but according to me, eighth wonder of world, which is compounding, does not work without ninth wonder of the world, which is patience.
True.
So,
True.
yeah, so no matter how much we jump off compounding, unless you have patience, and I think you made a reference about your meditation and all. I think that has helped you a lot to achieve where you are, what you are. Because let me put it hypothetically: how would Srishti Jain's portfolio look if she was checking the portfolio on a regular basis, or if the OTP was received in UK on a regular basis? So put it the other way around. I'm sure you would have spoiled your returns and whatnot.
True.
Not, just to share, not to brag about it, I am purely a mutual fund investor now, but I have my old holdings
Mm-hmm.
bought in lower three digits, which are now in five digits. I'm still continue to hold it. I don't regularly look at them, but
Hello,
yes,
Yeah,
Hello.
tell
hello.
me.
at the
Can
end
you
of the
hear
day,
me?
honestly, the
Yes,
way I
we can
look
hear
at
you.
it is
Hello, can
that
you hear
I
me?
was lucky
We can
they
hear
have
you.
Yes, we can.
uh, given me that kind of a return. And hats off to that gentleman of ICICI Bank who gave you these names, uh, because you piggybacked and you just went ahead with what he said, and that was your conviction. And to conclude, borrowed conviction is always dangerous, but you had the conviction, although it was referred to you by somebody else. So great. I mean, good to learn from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your journey as well.
Yeah, sir is a lawyer by profession, and as far as wit is concerned, he's far above. I mean,
Wow.
he is too witty. Yeah. Thank you, Yogesh sir, for adding value. So, anyone else from the audiences, they may send a request if they want to interact, or otherwise, I'll keep on asking different questions. So, I mean, what would you advise on spirituality front? I mean, to the audiences.
I think resilience in life is extremely important, be it anywhere, be it your workplace, be it your investing journey, be it your relationship. You have to stand strong without losing your temperament. And spiritual journey helps in that way. It helps you uh, to not to lose your command over your patience. So that is extremely important. So meditating regularly helps. Attending some good seminars with good mindset people helps. Like I have a good community of the people from the landmark group where we sit and talk about how do we want to create opportunities in life, how do we want to communicate with ourselves and others, how do we come in a zone of creating life the way we want with our communication. So all these things, they are extremely important to not to lose your patience and to trust your journey, trust the universe, that whatever is going to come along is a part of your journey. And if you are kind hearted, if you are patient, and I think most important, anything then any apart from anything else is be kind to yourself. खुद की गलतियां नहीं निकालनी, oh I did this, oh this. No, it is a part of your journey. It had to happen. But now is the time to, okay, ये गड़बड़ हो गया, ये गलत हो गया, but yes, I will sort it out in some way or the other.
So, as far as we have heard you, regret has no place in your life, and moving on is the one thing which you are very positive about. So, with this, we also have Puneet with us. Puneet, would you like to, say or ask anything? Come.
Yeah, thank you for inviting. So a few days back, actually, Dr. Srishti followed me, so I followed her back. So it happens usually this way. So I have good doctor friends. So she was now one of our good Twitter friends. So I just like to say that way. And Yogeshi and you are like, we have been interacting quite long a lot in many of the spaces also. So the only thing, like Dr. Srishti was saying, that she keeps on reading book. So I also read books, but yes, my taste is a bit different. So I've only read in deep the book called Chanakya Niti, and it helps me a lot, believe me. So yeah, so if you like, I really think that whatever sayings, whatever verses are there by him have really great meanings. So what Dr. For now, just coming to the space. So what she has been saying, that investing is a big journey. So I would just like to add my experience to hers. So I've learned a lot in my past 20-25 years of investing career, because my father was a stockbroker.
Wow.
And then we surrendered the ticket, and then I started my job, and then I was into investing by default because I was a part of mutual fund industry. So I've
Wow.
been working there for almost 19 years in middle level to top level management. Then I
Wow.
quit it and I settled in Australia. So that's my journey.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I have been since this was the taste. So I've learned technicals a bit. That's my forte, and I teach also. So there has been many ups and downs in my investing journey. But yes, one thing I have also um, uh, learned, that please don't stop your SIP
Yeah.
when these times are coming where you don't know where Nifty is heading.
True.
You you need to be more good into investing that time. So what I usually do, if I'm doing a SIP for 100 rupees, so I do a SIP for 10 rupees into liquid. So this might sound a little bit odd, but when these times come, I just top up my existing funds with that fund. So
True.
this helps me a lot in doing that. So I do this way. Maybe this helps to other investors also. And what she has been saying, that don't stop your mutual funds. It will really pay you. And uh, other thing I would like to say, many people actually listen to TV, actually listen to some analyst. But the main thing is, your own individual journey will only start once you start learning things.
True.
कब तक आप दूसरों के टिप पे चलते रहोगे, that's the thing. So have your conviction in a particular company, in a particular sector, in a particular mutual fund, whatever you want to do, and whatever is your journey. So that's the thing I would like to say, and I keep on doing that. And I've, over a period of time, I've developed some good things that are working for me. I have been learning, and I'm still a student. So I just believe in the saying what Sunil Gavaskar said after his retirement and playing cricket for so long years, And once he was asked by a commentator, so what's your takeaway? So he said, I'm still learning. So if Sunil Gavaskar can say that, who was at in our era to be uh, named as, you can say, before Sachin Tendulkar, the god of cricket. So if he can say that, so I mean, like, we are no one to say that I have learned everything. So I'm still learning, and I keep on revising myself, whatever mistakes I do. And I just keep on writing all these things because uh, before taking a trade, sometimes you get carried away. So now I don't get carried away. I'm quite balanced. But yes, mistakes are done. We are humans. So this is what I can say. I'm just doing these things these days.
Right.
Markets are quite dicey. And before, you can say the last week, the markets were saying something different. Today, they are saying something different. So the only thing is, don't get into panic. Don't redeem your full portfolio.
Mhm.
Redeem if you are getting into these kind of troubles. Yes, if you are good analyst, technical analyst particularly, you might be wrong. You may be wrong, but you can save some money by knowing or by analyzing some kind of ups and downs. But don't go anywhere away, because we are into a long term bull market.
Right.
Yes, but I think we are into a wave 2 correction. So there is a lot of difference between correction and crash.
True.
So
Thanks,
I would
Puneet.
say corrections last a lot. And what I have learned, this might sound a little bit odd to most of the people, but this is the truth. What I'm telling you, anything that is in a bull market remains 30%, like 30 times. If you value in a scale, 30 days it is bull and 70 days it is correction or bear phase,
Right.
whereas people think it other way. So why we actually as an investors got stuck, we are actually investing once that 20-25 percentage of the bull run is done, and then we are most of the time into correction and we get frustrated. So technical analysis only helps you to find that little pockets where you can be into a particular script, into particular market, into particular investment scheme, and then ride a little bit rally, or you stay invested for long in good companies. That's
Yeah.
what I can submit.
But
Thanks
share.
for
I think
adding
you
so
being a
much into
technical
this.
analyst, I think you would be knowing it really, the hard core truth of trading, which is like very sad that only 1% of the people actually, run their families on trading. I love the way Mr. Kedia always shares that till the time he was trading, he didn't have money to buy a bottle of milk for his kid. And what I keep telling to my fellow doctors, I think some of them are there in this space right now, that please don't trade. It's not easy. We are busy people, and we don't get time, focused time in the market hours, because we are busy with our patients. And it's better to, study off the market hours when there is less of noise, and to build a portfolio, to focus on some scripts and build a portfolio again, and not to sell your mutual funds. I always keep telling everyone, look, this worked for me. I don't know whether it will work for you or not, but this worked for me. And I had been investing into mutual funds for the last
Whatever
like six
investing I
seven
have
years
been
now.
doing, so
So that is one thing that I would suggest. Of course, everyone has their choice and understanding, and as you very rightly said, that कब तक किसी और के recommendations पर चलेंगे, एक ना एक दिन तो अपने को अपनी खुद संभालना है. We have to handle our portfolio. So that is very true. We need to understand the things. But once you have understood, I think trading is not everyone's cup of tea, especially those who are professionals into some other field where 9 to 5 job is something else. And thinking that ट्रेड से हम कैपिटल बना लेंगे पहले और फिर इन्वेस्टिंग करेंगे, तो वो मुझे थोड़ा समझ में नहीं आता है. इट्स आउट ऑफ माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग that why are you stopping the compounding, like why are you not letting it be there. Expert भी शेफ होगा, बट हांडी बिरयानी बनाने में ना उसको भी 2 घंटे लगेंगे. So it's not about being an expert, it's about giving time to the things to cook. So that's all I would say.
Well, so true, and thanks Puneet for adding value to today's space. It was really so, guys. इतनी interesting space आपको कम ही देखने को मिलती है जहां आप you find so honest people and so transparent with their, I mean, from their career, profession, life, and what they have experienced. So I would request each and every one of you to go to her handle and follow her, and let the positivity spread in a bigger sphere. So we also have Amit ji with us. So Amit ji, unmute yourself, ask your question, and then we'll.
थैंक यू। मेरा डॉक्टर सृष्टि से मैंने उनको बहुत रिसेंटली फॉलो किया है। मैं एक्चुअली ट्विटर पे मैंने ट्रेडर्स को फॉलो करना बहुत रिसेंटली शुरू किया है। और उनमें से एक डॉक्टर सृष्टि बाय चांस आ गई, एंड आई रियली आई बीन फॉलोइंग यू नो व्हाट शी इज बीन राइटिंग एंड एवरीथिंग। मेरा इनके साथ में इनके बारे में एक ये चीज़ मेरा, बिकॉज आई एम फ्रॉम द फील्ड ऑफ मार्केटिंग एंड मीडिया एंड कंटेंट, तो एक चीज़ मैंने नोटिस जो करी कि जो सृष्टि जो आप यूज़ कर रहे हो अपना, द फैक्ट दैट यूर अ डॉक्टर and you're also a trader and you're putting yourself out here on Twitter as a trader and not a doctor, but
I'm not a trader. I don't know ABCD of trading. मैंने market अच्छी fees दी है.
नहीं, but the perception is fair enough. But I'm just saying something कि जो perception जो it's a good thing. It's a very good sort of marketing thing. But I would only say कि एक जो I think it's a suggestion maybe to you. मेरे पास आपके लिए market के लिए कोई question नहीं है. सिर्फ एक suggestion है in terms of कि okay, so if I had to ask you a question, it would be this कि what sort of analogies can you draw from your you know, your medicine profession that you can maybe equate to the market in terms of, and वो आपका niche बन सकता है फिर आपका. That was only a suggestion I wanted to make to you.
Wow.
कि कहीं ना कहीं it would be a very good sort of फिर एक अलग, you know, you'll go level up
फिर तो
in terms of
आपसे प्रोफेशनल हेल्प लेनी पड़ेगी and that I'll do.
so well, always available for any kind of this. It's something that I noticed that because there aren't many, at least मेरे सामने तो Twitter पे there's only one lady, you know, a physician, a doctor who's also you know, out there and, you know, trading in stocks and stuff, and she's out there and she's sharing her knowledge. तो I think it's a great thing you're doing, but एक niche आपका बन सकता है उसमें, एक level up आप कर सकते हो उसके अंदर if you start drawing analogies. I think that'll be a great thing. तो
Sure.
एक ही आपके लिए suggestion था मेरा. That's all I really want to come up and say.
Thank you so much.
It's a really wonderful suggestion on your part, and definitely doctor will imbibe in this thing, and we would ask this question in the next engagement we will be having with her on our Twitter spaces. So we have AP
I'll
with
be
us.
watching.
So,
I'll be watching.
yeah, sure. Thank you. And guys, kindly connect with our handles. यार इतना अच्छा interesting space कहाँ मिलेगा आपको बार बार, ठीक है? तो हाँ, हम यहाँ कोई बेचने के लिए, सेल करने के लिए नहीं है, ना कोई टिप्स और स्टॉक बाय सेल रिकमेंडेशन है, बट एक थोड़ा सा वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट ही है टू ग्रो अवर ट्विटर फैमिली सो दैट वी कैन लर्न फ्रॉम डिफरेंट पीपल. सी, इट्स नॉट अबाउट द person who is hosting and the person who's a guest or speakers are only adding value. Anyone in the community can add value in one sort or the other, right? So we interact so as to gain create a atmosphere where we can learn mutually. Thank you. So next, AP, kindly unmute yourself and ask her. Shrishti, are we good on time?
I think we can wind up in another 5-6 minutes. I've got like around 73 missed calls by.
Okay.
This is my clinic time.
Okay. So we'll do one thing. We have two requests with us, so we'll take up them and then we'll wrap up. And right, AP, kindly ask your question, please.
Yeah, thank you for giving opportunity. Like my first question is, when I try to select a fund, when I notice most of the trend is between the 2018 to 20, most of them are in downtrend. But after 2020, all of them began to go in uptrend. I don't know what is the reason. My second question is.
Can I answer the first question first?
Yes, madam. Yes.
I think now what I may be totally wrong, है ना? Don't go by my word. But what I think is 5 years का at least आपका investing का time होना चाहिए. There should be at least 5 years of investing time for your horizon, because 3 years, 4 years things might not run up. But you know, during these crashes, during these unusual opportunities, which happens usually in 5 6 years, you might end up, you know, getting a really really good return on your portfolio. So again, don't have a horizon in mutual funds for less than 5 years. That is my suggestion.
You
I think
about
I'm not an expert. Honestly, I
yeah.
invest only in blue chips. I have openly shared the portfolio which I am having. I have 20 stocks in my portfolio. I have been openly sharing my mistakes of timing into them, because I might end up choosing very good, fundamentally good stocks, but I ended up buying them at the wrong time. I think everyone in my family, like we have a doctors group family named by Upchar Samriddhi, and everyone there knows my tears over my timing of Balaji Ameen's. So, again, you have to have a horizon for a very long time. Don't look at the trend once you know that you have bought a right script at the right time. Upar niche chalta rahega. That is how it goes. So be an investor. Don't time the market. That's all I can say. I seriously don't see my old portfolio. I think everyone in my Char family knows that I don't see my old portfolio, which is of ICICI. Then had bought a new, like I got a new demat account of Zerodha where I now started investing, but I don't touch my old portfolio. I've left it because I trust those companies, and I strongly believe in what Warren Buffett sir says, that if you can't hold a company for 10 years, better not to hold it or even for a single day.
So true, so relatable. Sorry, guys, we limited our, questions to one, and we will take up your questions in next spaces, or maybe you can ask your questions over her handle. We have last one with us. Rahul, ask your question, and after that
Yes,
we will wrap it up.
yes. Can you hear me, ma'am? Actually, my question is Dr. Srishti, ma'am. So, ma'am, I think your profession is doctor right now, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And second thing, you are teaching here the investor by chance. So once I'm thinking that in the same this is the same level. Okay, because I am also an investor and by chance also. Okay. So I want to ask one thing, that once when you started the investing, so as you told that Warren Buffett told that once you are investing in a company, that always think about more than 1 year, 10 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now volatility is increasing, and we are seeing that the stock which is going like 100 rupees up, then they are coming down as market comes down. So
Mm-hmm.
what should we do in this huge volatility? Because we have seen that repo rate is the increasing and all the things. So what should
Uninstall
we do?
application. If you don't have money to buy when it really goes down, when the RSI is really low, application का password change करो और uninstall कर दो, ताकि पता ही नहीं चले क्या हुआ. Trust me, you will win. छोड़ दो, क्योंकि volatility आज है, 1 महीने है, 2 महीने है, 4 साल, 5 साल, 10 साल थोड़ी ना रहेगी. In the long term, as one of the group members shared, कि we are still in a long term bull run. So ये सब होता है. This is the nature of the markets. अभी ही सर ने शेयर किया कि 75% are bear days and 25% are bull days. So why are we bothered? छोड़ दो ना. अगर आपने अच्छे stocks लिए हैं, fundamentally strong companies हैं, उनका management अच्छा है, like सौरभ मुखर्जी की अगर आप book पढ़ोगे Unusual Billionaires, इतने detail में he describes Asian Paints and Berger Paints and Pidilite and the management of HDFC Bank and the whole story of ICICI Bank, then why are you worried? ये छोटा मोटा चलता रहता है, छोड़ दो. It's more of your mindset journey. Trust your journey. Read good books and then go by the big investors. Like Monish Babrai sir shares na, he followed Warren Buffett. He actually became like जो वो करते हैं मैं वो करूँगा.
Right. I think that answered his question. So basically, guys, she meant to say कि भाई अपना अच्छे से एनालाइज करो, जो आप चीज समझते हैं, गो अबाउट इट है, ठीक है. उसके बाद पेशेंस दिखाओ, अपना अपनी कन्विक्शन आपकी आ गई है, पेशेंस दिखाओ, उसको थोड़े टाइम के लिए होल्ड करो. वॉलेटिलिटी इज अ पार्ट ऑफ the market, so you will experience over time and again. So we have last speaker, Dr. Renu Sehaj. So she can unmute herself and she can talk.
Hello, Dr. Srishti.
Hi, ma'am. Nice to hear.
Hello. Your story is very heart touching and inspirational too. And I want you to ask if sometimes, in spite of every fundamentals and in spite of taking every measures, if your stock doesn't go right way, then
Mhm.
what you suggest about risk tolerance?
Right.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I would still go with the overall portfolio return because, again, in my coffee can, ma'am, you know all the stories. I had all the banks, मुझे तो बैंकों ने लूट
Yeah.
लिया.
Yeah, I know.
उसने बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा में बर्बाद किया, पंजाब नेशनल Yes, bank, you know my story, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Portfolio returns, which I would do. हमें नहीं पता मैम अगर मान लीजिए बहुत अच्छी फंडामेंटली स्ट्रांग है बट उसमें सब कुछ गड़बड़ होने लग रहा है आपको कुछ नहीं पता क्या हो रहा है और कुछ भी नहीं पता वी शुड स्टिल गो बाय मैम अगर आपका पोर्टफोलियो आपको 20% CAGR भी दे रहा है ना एनुअली लॉन्ग रन में तो आई वुड एक्चुअली नॉट पुट माय ब्रेनर्स यू नो माय जर्नी मैम जब से सीखना चालू
But yes,
किया
but about that particular stock.
Ma'am, in my case, when I started learning, I ended up selling all these PSU banks. I removed all these scripts from my portfolio, which were running actually so much percent negative. Yes, bank was 95% negative, ma'am. You know this very well. I
Yeah,
removed
yeah.
the scripts from my portfolio because the
No, ma'am.
fundamentals
In my
went
case,
wrong. So
I'm
if
asking about picking
fundamentals,
up
if
of
the
stock.
management, if you think नहीं यार अब ये डाउन में तो कैचिंग द फॉलिंग नाइफ नहीं करना है वहां आई वुड देन बुक माई लॉस एंड आई वुड एक्सेप्ट ये मेरी गलती है मार्केट इज द सुप्रीम I will accept my mistake and I will sell. Ma'am, you know, I ended up selling all the PSUs which I had in my portfolio.
Okay, okay, Dr. Srishti, thank you very much. And it's very learning interacting you over here Twitter space. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Renu, for asking the question. So, guys, those who have turned up to today's space, I really thank them all for your patience to listening to her and us for almost an hour. It was really, I mean, what we say, I mean, this is the best spaces so far in the case. I mean, so heart touching, so honest, and so transparent. Seriously, and I really
AI, can I put
appreciate
a
being
one
so
sentence?
positive and spreading. I mean, as Yogesh sir was saying, mentally, I mean, you are so strong. And am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah,
So all the aspects she has touched upon, and guys, there are n number of names which has been taken so as to explain her journey. Obviously, we are
yeah.
not here to tell you that if it went for her, it will go bad for you. So you have to do your own due diligence because your money, your decision. But of course, there are so many takeaways from today's session. Be positive. Be, I mean, you have to be disciplined. Spread as far as, I mean, be it your professional thing or maybe anything, well, you have to share your learnings, and one should not be averse to learning new things from others. One and the best learning in market is humility, right? So we should keep on evolving and keep on learning new things from this market. With this, I would wrap up today's space and ask Dr. Shrishti to say concluding remarks, and then we will close it.
To conclude, I would say that I would share my journey forwards as well. So please be in touch on my Twitter space and with Accidental Investors. It was lovely talking to you all today and sharing my journey. And all I would say to conclude is trust your journey. आपकी जर्नी आपकी की है और अपन किसी को फॉलो नहीं कर सकते किसी के लिए कुछ वर्क करता है किसी के लिए कुछ नहीं करता एंड आई shared कि मेरी गलतियां थी मेरी लाइफ में क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आई एंड हाउ आई एम ट्राइंग टू लर्न फ्रॉम देम एंड ट्राइंग टू इवॉल्व फ्रॉम देम and be in touch with good friends who are interested in investing. We have our very good group of doctors where we have a 1 hour discussion in the morning before we start our jobs, and in the evening once we've finished our clinics we share what mistakes we did. And with full disclaimer, I'm holding Balaji Ameen's with 25% loss in my portfolio. That's all.
Thank you so much, Rishi. And I assume, like all the audiences, they can connect with her for any medical opinions as well. She would be more than happy to help.
I would love
It's a noble profession she is into. and so much for sparing time for us and spreading positivity. So, Yogesh sir, anything you have to add as a concluding thing?
No, thank you so much. Just on a concluding note, even doctors are patients in securities market. Thank you so much.
Indeed, indeed. I have a
Yeah,
called
I
Bala.
was, see, I was right on the weight thing, right?
Yes.
थैंक यू गाइस दोज हु हैव टर्न्ड अप टुडे यार सीरियसली बहुत अच्छा लगा और ऐसी इंटरेस्टिंग और मतलब जोवियल जो स्पेसेस होती है दे आर रेयर वी यूज्ड टू हैव सीरियस डिस्कशंस बट अगेन यू गेव अस a new dimension. Thank you so much to agreeing to having this space with us, and I think your patients are waiting for you, so we are sorry on that part and really really thankful for coming to today's space. Thank you so much. और सबको यार फॉलो जरूर करना है डॉक्टर को, मेरे को करो ना करो, इसको डॉक्टर को जरूर फॉलो करना है. शी इज अ पॉजिटिव, शी इज वेरी पॉजिटिव. थैंक यू मैम.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And looking forward to meet you all again on Twitter all the time. Okay. Bye
थैंक यू. ओके
bye.
थैंक यू.
Bye 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 bye.
Is an inspiration from for all of us, and the aspects which So with this, I once again thank our